Let people filter in here. Alrighty, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Becca with Travel Perks, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to our Viking virtual cruise night or afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. Before we get started with our main event, which will be about 45 minutes, I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce you to Travel Perks for those of you who aren't already familiar with us. Go ahead, JJ. Um, so we are a full service travel agency based in Oregon, although we serve clients all throughout the United States. Well, we are, oops, got the slide. Oh no.
Keep talking, it'll advance it.
Sure. No, you're fine. We're based in Oregon, but we serve clients all through the United States. So if you're on the East Coast, anywhere, we are happy to help you with your travel needs. Well, we are featuring Viking this evening. We do specialize in all travel from ocean, river, expedition cruising to resorts, tours, custom groups, and more. Perfect. Thank you. The next slide, JJ. A question we often receive is why use a travel agent? Isn't it better to book direct? So I have 3 reasons for you why it is better to book through us. First and foremost, we are unbiased experts when it comes to all the options out there, which, as I'm sure you know, there are quite a few of them. So instead of trying to convince you one product is the right one for you, we get to know you and find the best options for you for your next trip. Next, we don't cost you anything. That's often a reaction we get is doesn't it cost to use a travel agency? And it does not. In fact, we often save you money. We get you extra exclusives, offer expertise, and save you time while we're at it. Lastly, service and advocacy matter. We were founded on the belief that good service shouldn't be sacrificed for a great deal. So you can check out our 300 plus 5-star Google reviews that we maintained even throughout the pandemic. So on the topic of service, I want to introduce you to our team. Which they're all here to help you along the way. When you work with us, you'll be assigned a dedicated agent. You'll have their direct line, email. They'll know your trip, get to know you throughout the process. We also ensure that our team are experts in the products they sell. So I want to introduce you to 2 of our team members on this next slide, Theresa and Crystal, who are experts in all things Viking. And while we have JJ with us today from Viking, Theresa and Crystal are happy to help you through this booking process. So if you're interested, I will drop their information in the chat, and we'll also follow up with via email if you're interested in connecting with one of them. And then lastly, February is Travel Perks Viking Month. So in short, that means there's no better time to book your next Viking cruise than now. And on that note, if you do have any questions throughout the presentation, I encourage you to use the chat feature, Q&A features. I'll be monitoring them throughout, and I'll be sure to relay any questions to JJ either throughout the presentation, and we'll leave some time at the end as well. So please feel free to drop any questions you have in there. So now without further ado, I'd love to introduce JJ with Viking Cruises. Take it away.
Thank you. We made a great AV team. I'm sorry.
I think we crushed it.
Oh, thank you so much, Becca. I thank you everyone for joining us today. I love talking about Viking. I have been in the cruise industry since 1989. Have worked for a couple brands before Viking. I joined Viking 8 years ago, and I had the best career up until right around March of 2020. I was like, pinch me, I have the best job in the world. It got a little dicey at that point, but it's back. Cruising is stronger than ever, and people are cruising all parts of Viking. So I'm glad you're here, and hopefully that'll be something that will pique your interest about the many, many parts of Viking. First, I want to introduce you to my 2 workmates here. I do work from home out of Portland, Oregon, and this is Cosmo and Archie. And inevitably, they're going to bother us. So I'm just going to warn you now. If you hear something in the background, it's probably one of these 2, and it's just kind of how I work from home. I'm very proud of the fact that Viking has grown a lot in the past 28 years. In August of This year we'll celebrate 28 years, but we've seen continual growth for the brand from the onset. We've grown to about 100 ships in our fleet, and we consider ourselves the leader in small ship cruising. So even though we have a lot of ships, they're relatively small as far as other brands go. But we're mostly proud of this fact. In 2023, we took home the trifecta for our brand. We won in River, Ocean, and Expedition from the readers of Condé Nast Traveler. And then in 2024, we duplicated it. We took home all three top awards. So we're very, very proud of this. We'll see what happens for 2025. Hopefully we'll have a third year in a row, and I'm sure we'll announce that. Our owner, Mr. Torstein Hagen, you'll hear me refer to him several times, when asked about these awards in his very Norwegian way, he said, we're going to celebrate, but then we go onwards. We want to continue our success and look for new ways to deliver amazing cruise vacations for people. So that's how we celebrate. We look for what's next in the future and what we're going to deliver. So currently all 7 continents and 95 countries, 433 ports around the globe, 5 oceans, 20 rivers throughout around the world. People think of us as mainly a Central European river company, but we have ships on the Mekong, on the Nile, on the Mississippi, but we have several ships in Central Europe. And then, much to my surprise, Great Lakes. We introduced Great Lake cruising 2 years ago. I had no idea that people wanted to cruise to Milwaukee and Detroit and Cleveland. And just joking, I know those are wonderful ports. You might be from there, but no one really had done it before. And we added some amazing Canadian ports as well. And it was really well received. It's been a very popular itinerary for our expedition ships. The season is opposite when we're down in Antarctica, the Chilean fjords, and Patagonia. It's this time of year. And then we position the ships in the Great Lakes during the summertime. And it's quite been well received, bringing 2 brand new ships into this amazing itinerary. So we were busy during the pandemic. We built several ships, new river ships for the Central European rivers, some new shorter ships that allow us to get further into the heart of Paris. We call those our Seine class, just a little bit smaller, carrying less guests. We added new ships to Egypt. We added a ship to Southeast Asia on the Mekong, 5 ocean ships, 2 expedition ships. And then after many, many years of research, we finally added our Mississippi ship. Currently, we just have the 1 Mississippi. Eventually, we'll have 2 Mississippi and 3 Mississippi. The jokes don't get any better. I'm sorry. I do have a couple canned ones here. Hopefully, you'll bear with me.
Hey, JJ.
Yes.
I do have a few comments that your audio is a little low. Is there anything
okay. Let
to
me
do on?
turn it up here. I'll get closer to the microphone here. How's that? Let's see. How's that? A little bit better, perhaps? Get a little closer to the microphone.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. I'll keep an eye out, but thank you.
Thanks,
and loving the jokes.
With Viking, we started out small back in 1997, and we realized we couldn't be something for everyone. We really wanted to focus on our clientele from the get-go. And I'm looking at you. Is volume better? Is it better?
They're saying no. I'll see if there's anything I can do on my end.
Okay. Let's see, I've got only 1 microphone here. So I'll just keep getting closer to it here. But we realized we couldn't be something for everyone. We really wanted to fine-tune who our audience was from the beginning. So it's always been English-speaking, mature couples with curious minds with an interest in history, culture, and geography. I'd like to break this down. English-speaking, because most of our guests come from the US and Canada. Mature couples. We joke at Viking that you tend to get an ARP card in the mail one day, and then the next day Viking brochures start showing up. So we do start marketing to people in their mid-50s, and then they're receiving materials. They're finally cruising with us well into the 60s and beyond. Couples, because our staterooms are designed for 2 people, and they're sold that way. We don't have triples or quadruples. We don't have single staterooms. We don't even have connecting door staterooms. We keep our inventory very, very simple. And we know we've got wonderful hardware, amazing crew, the food's outstanding, but we know that people are really coming on for the port. So we really are a destination brand in particular. So it's all about the time that you spend in the ports, the activities, the shore excursions that we provide. We're a very highly inclusive brand, but no one would say that we're all inclusive because there's two areas that we do need to sometimes let people know about, and that's tipping and alcohol. Tipping is very personal. You can do it before you leave. You could wait to get on board the ship and have it billed to your daily account, or you can just get envelopes at the end of the cruise. It's really up to you how you tip. And then alcohol, we do include beer and wine and soft drinks while you're dining, mimosas for breakfast. We don't judge. If someone wants beer or wine for breakfast, they could have that as well. But it's really truly if you're dining, there's some sort of alcoholic option, beer, wine, soft drinks, mimosas. But if it's an afternoon drink or an evening drink, it is by the glass. And many people buy our very affordable beverage package just to keep it simple. It's about $27 a day, and it just has an open bar. You can have any type of alcohol anytime you wish. And of course, there won't be a bill at the end of the cruise. It's really up to you how you'd like to do that. Most people are very happy with the choices that they get while they're dining. We pass on savings where we can. Make sure you talk to your favorite travel advisor regarding using a credit card or using a bank transfer. You could save an extra percentage on the cruise by doing a bank transfer, and your travel perks advisor can give you the cost between using a credit card and using the bank transfer. And of course, we have amazing staff that comes back again and again. Most people say that a cruise line employee will say that they have amazing staff, but we have the proof in the pudding because our crew comes back again and again, and how we treat them, and we see a very high repeat factor for our staff as they come back. So we actually registered this trademark. You can see it's a registered quote where we say we're a thinking person's cruise line. Mr. Hagen likes to joke. He likes to say that we're a thinking person's cruise line, not a drinking person's cruise line. But you can see that they're enjoying some nice bottle or some glasses of wine at their dinner table there. So we do have fun. We have lounges and we have activities, and we're not boring, but you're going to come on board and probably learn something, whether you know it or not. We've got ways for you to learn about the ports before you leave. We've got videos on our website to learn about all the ports. We've got brochures, the help of the travel advisors. There's a lot of readings that you can do or movies that you can watch on the different ports. We do include a shore excursion in every port that we visit, and most everybody does participate in the included shore excursion. You're going to learn what that area has to offer very quickly. And you're going to connect with people, very like-minded people. You're all working on this journey together. You're going to have some great shared memories. You're going to build some lifelong friends, hopefully. The ships are big, but they're not gigantic. We're still considered small. You're going to see the same people in the hallway while you're dining on shore excursions. If you're not a people person, you might just have to fake it just a bit, because you're just going to come out of the shell, and we get a lot of repeat passengers on our ships. About 70% of our guests have cruised before with us, so they're very good about bringing people to the fold and introducing them to Viking or what river cruising or Viking's version of ocean cruising is all about. We're very fortunate to have very loyal past guests. So coming up over 2 decades of cruising, pretty close, coming up to 3 soon. Intimate and elegant ships. We take you to the heart of the destination. River cruising was really designed to emulate what people were doing on motor coach trips. People are traveling to Europe on motor coaches for decades, and we were able to copy that with river ships. The neat thing about river ship cruising is that you get to unpack once, and we take you to some amazing ports. And Mr. Hagen, when he started river cruising, he long-term leased, or he bought the docking rights from many of the cities that we go into. So we were able to pull into the ports and into the lives and history of the people from the regions you're cruising in. Innovative design, I'll show you what that's all about in just a bit. And when you travel with us, course, the cruise is with us. You can do your airfare with Viking, your hotels pre and post, your transfers will all be Viking. Many people like to keep it all together, just as one big package, but you don't have to. You can piece it together how you work, how you see fit, and work with your travel advisor. If you'd like to do our cruise and our airfare, but you want to stay at your own hotels, that could all be arranged. So make sure you talk to your advisor about doing that. Food has always been important as part of a cruise line, and we started out with the food idea as being more of a farm to table concept. I mentioned that motor coach trips are being done in Europe for decades. The nice thing about that was you got to eat at a local restaurant generally when you did the motor coach trips. We solved that with our ships and having their own galleys, but we wanted people to have food that was representative of the area that they're cruising in. So the food, the menu, the quality of the food, the recipes will be sourced from the area that you're cruising in. So you could go into a restaurant. You will have time sometimes in the evening or in the midday to go into a local restaurant, but the food on board the ship is going to be equal to what you find in those local restaurants. We have fresh and local cuisine. We do a lot of fun taste of events. Everybody knows cheese tasting and wine tasting. We do mustard tasting and vinegar tasting and cognac tasting, vodka tastings. Generally, the mustard and the vinegar is not as popular as the vodka, wine, and such, but you learn from the experts on the nuances of these things and are able to share your expertise later, and you have a lot of fun at the same time as well. Impeccable service. We take our jobs very serious. Our crew is very buttoned up and tidy, but we let our guests dress how they feel. Most of our guests just know what to wear. There's not really ever a chance where we have to say that they're not dressed appropriately. We are very casual. There's no suit and tie. There's no ball gowns. There's no formal nights. We figure people have been dressing themselves for a number of years, so they know how to dress when they go on vacation. And a lot of times people are wearing the same outfit throughout the day, and they just get it more. As the day goes by, they just kind of maybe change a piece here or there and freshen it up. But many people can wear the same outfit all day long. Just last year, we took home 3 awards from Food and Wine magazine. Keep in mind, we don't have signature chefs or celebrities or name brand restaurants. We promote from within, and we created our own menus. So best culinary shore excursions, those are the ones where you go off and maybe go shopping with the chefs, buying something regional for dinner that night. Best overall cruise line for food. We're in some great company there, but it is nice to be number 1. And then best cruises for onboard dining culinary experiences, those tastings that we do, the demonstrations that we do. At holiday time, we have a lot of fun with gingerbread house decorating. I love that because they do all the hard work. They do all the construction. You just get to do the decorating part, and it's a lot of fun. I've discovered that the piping material comes out very, very fast. So my gingerbread house needed a lot of help, but it was still a lot of fun decorating it and creating it. But those are the items that helped us win this award from Food and Wine magazine. I mentioned that we have a very high repeat factor of our crew. 90% of our staff comes back again and again. That's extremely high in the cruise industry. We do pay them very well. We source them locally from the areas that we're cruising in, so their expertise is in the area that we are visiting. A lot of times you could ask them questions about what it's like to grow up there, or you have an idea of something you want to see and you don't see it offered by Viking, they're probably will be able to help you with that. We have a service guarantee, meaning that if something's not quite right, we do ask for the guest to let us know. And if we can't rectify it, we do ask for 24 hours to try. If we can't rectify the situation, the guest can choose to get off the ship, receive a refund, and we'll help with their transportation home. It's just not a perfect world out there. When we're traveling, we certainly try to make it a perfect experience, but if something's not to someone's liking, we ask for them to let us know, and then we get to work on it immediately. But every cruise does have the service guarantee. As far as value, cruising has always been a value, but I think we've taken it to the next level as far as including what people are looking for. So we do have a short excursion in every port. Your meals, again, will be authentic to the area we're cruising in. But if you're cruising in Bavaria, it's probably Wiener Schnitzel and sauerkraut and German potato salad and bratwurst and pretzels. Probably a nice light German meal. But if that's not to your liking, you have American classics on board. So there always will be something to your liking. Just ask for it. Again, we're always trying to source from the local area. It is open seating. You dine with whom you'd like, when you'd like. Beer, wine, soft drinks are included. Mochas, cappuccinos, lattes are also included. Bottled water in your stateroom on shore excursions throughout the ship. You shouldn't ever have to pay for water. Water is a necessity, so it's everywhere, and it helps you overcome jet lag. So if you like still water or effervescent water, it's available to you. Wi-Fi. We just went to Starlink on our fleet, so it's great connections. And we always ask our guests if they're going to be sharing information on their social media. And we always get the same answer. People will say, we're not on social media. And they go off on a shore excursion and they come back to the ship, and the bandwidth, the bandwidth on the ship just kind of drops because everybody's uploading pictures to social media. It's okay. We know that they're probably telling us, that they're not on social media, but they are. But that's really a great way for them to share their experience with their friends at home. So it's okay if they don't want to admit it. We use first class hotels. If you come in early or stay late, we've got packages available. We use wonderful locations with great amenities that people are looking for. The old joke in the travel industry is that you go to Europe and you see boutique hotel, which sounds really great, but boutique is code for no elevator. So our hotels are great locations. They're going to have elevators, and they're going to have the amenities that you'll look for while you're traveling. In-room infotainment, movies that just left the theater, educational features on TV, news stations, and we don't forget to put Viking on the map. We've got one station that's just nothing but Downton Abbey. If you haven't watched a second of Downton Abbey, we can get you up to date in one cruise, and you can probably take in all the movies as well. We sponsored Downton Abbey, and it was a wonderful mix between Viking and PBS and Downton Abbey. All your government fees and port charges are included in the price. We don't separate that out. We try to make our pricing very, very simple. Many cruise lines will give you a price, and then they'll have to add on a separate price. We just want it to be easy, so we include that in the price of the cruise.
Hey, JJ.
Yes.
Yeah, quick question from Anna just about related to inclusive items. Is soda included or just during dinner?
It's included while you're dining. So
Right.
Yeah, it's our products are Coke products on board. And if they buy the beverage package, I know $27 sounds like a lot for Coke, but if you drink several throughout the day, it will be of value even if you don't drink alcohol.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Our ships pretty much look exactly alike, and that's done for a reason. We want consistency and continuity in the brand. This size works very, very well for us in going through the canal systems, the lock systems, and going underneath bridges. You can see here we've got the side of the ship has the veranda staterooms with the balconies. There's that middle section that's rectangular. One deck is the dining room, the other deck is the lounge. Very, very simple design to river ships. Again, we can't waste space on a river ship. Our Aquavit Terrace is very special. You can step outside and have an alfresco dining experience. Many cruise lines just use that for storage. And we're able to create this restaurant area where there's a buffet, or you can order off the menu from the main dining room. But this size works very, very well. There are some, again, smaller versions. If you're on the Douro River, you're on several rivers in France, a little bit smaller. It has the same amenities, it's just we carry less guests. We just have less staterooms on those smaller size ships. The ships are designed to have a Scandinavian feel to them. Mr. Hagen is from Norway, and we're paying homage to his upbringing in that wonderful country. They are known for their Scandinavian design, having light woods, a lot of nature and natural elements, a lot of windows bringing light indoors. Much like where I'm from, the Pacific Northwest, that's kind of how Norway is. We have long winters, and our way to counterbalance that is to have light coming in and filling the areas and making the rooms feel much bigger. And of course, our ships are very quiet. It does help that we have no kids on board. I haven't mentioned that yet, but we don't have any children on board. And when you think of Scandinavian design, it's not IKEA. IKEA's got great design, not always great quality. My first apartment was IKEA. It wasn't items that that are excuse me, that are family heirlooms. Oh, I think IKEA's getting back at me there. Our beautiful furniture is well crafted, well designed, beautiful fabrics and light colors. There's a term called Hygge. I always pronounce it incorrectly, but it's Hyggge, which means warm and cozy, inviting and safe. And that's really the design aesthetic that we're going for, much to the Scandinavian tribute. Our front desk, if you come in early and you're headed off to a shore excursion, you'll be greeted by our staff here, and you'll just exit that glass door and you're off exploring the port. If you have a question about the port, again, many times these people are from the cities that we're cruising in, and they can answer questions. A great example is is in Vienna. There's a dessert called Soccer Torte, the dense chocolate cake, and every restaurant's going to tell you that they make it the best. These people working behind the counter, they will know, they will be able to tell you, advise you. They'll have maps to share with you. And it's very simple to come and go on board our ships. They're also our security system. They know who's supposed to be on every voyage. They know that on day one, and they watch as people come and go, and they'll know who you are and what stateroom you're in. I don't know how they figure all this out. We're just lucky that we have the staff that does enjoy remembering these things. Looking out from the front desk is our atrium. Going up the staircase leads you to the lounge. If you stayed on this deck and went forward, it's the dining room. Again, very, very simple design with lots of windows to look out, the beautiful rivers and the towns that we're in. The dining room is low to the river, so you can look out at the river as we're cruising or into the city as we're docked. And if you're dining and you're making friends along the journey, our table sizes do grow. So if you're at one table for 4, the next night 6 or 8, and you're moving around the dining room and you have a different waiter, you don't have to worry. They share information, and they will able to know if there's something that you can't eat or shouldn't eat or won't eat. So we can feel very free to move around the dining room. We know our table sizes grow. It's just the camaraderie that happens with river cruising and ocean cruising as well. The lounge here, come up here before or after. We do port talks. You come in here at the end of the day and visit with your fellow cruisers and talk about what you did and share information. And then we'll talk about what's going on the next day. The bartenders will know, they're very, very entertaining. They'll know if you have a favorite drink. Again, they'll know your name very quickly. And we have dancing up here. So you can't tell from this photo, but we have a pretty large dance floor. We have a guitarist, a pianist, a vocalist, a flautist, a bassist, a harpist. They're all the same person. they're all the same person. They can play amazing music that we all know and enjoy, and we will get people out there dancing. It is lounge music, but the neat thing about river cruising is we also bring in entertainment from the ports. So as you come back to the ship, you might go to your stateroom and then eventually to the dining room for dinner. During that time frame, we will bring on entertainers. They'll set up, and then when we finish dinner, you'll come upstairs. We'll have singers, dancers, performers, and bands for you to enjoy. And the neat thing about river cruising is we just pull over to the side a little bit later, and someone will pick them up, and they can disembark the ship very easily. So we're very fortunate that we can do that on river cruises. The front of the ship has our aquavit terrace. This glass wall will protect you should we be cruising and you don't want the wind to bother you. So come out here for coffee in the morning or a glass of wine. This is a very cozy area to enjoy. the beautiful sights, or if we're in port, to sit up here and take in the scenery surrounding you. Beautiful place to be if you're in Budapest, because you're right by the chain bridge, and you're just looking out over all of the city and the Parliament building, and it's a great vista from this area. And again, it does share the menu off of the main dining room, so you don't have to do a buffet. You could order food right from our main dining room. Our library, you can check out books or get information about the ports we're visiting up here from our lending library, or check out some games. Our top deck does allow you to go around the laps. If you're feeling guilty about too many desserts, it's roughly, I'm going to say 18 laps of a mile. It's a lot, but hopefully you're not counting. Hopefully you're just looking at the beautiful views on both sides of the river. And excuse me, we do scenic cruising a lot of times. We do cruising in the middle of the day because there's parts of the river that you just can't miss. So we'll visit a city in the morning, and then we'll do scenic cruising in the middle of the day, and then we'll visit another city in the afternoon. This is in particular on the Rhine. There's about 18 miles of castles. If we were to go through there at night, people would not be happy. So we do a lot of times plan for scenic cruising. Excuse me, take a sip here. But just beautiful vistas on both sides. It doesn't really matter what side of the river your stateroom's on, because there'll be beautiful cities and towns throughout the rivers, no matter which side of the ship you're on. Speaking of staterooms, we've got a couple different categories to choose from. They're all going to have heated bathroom floors and heated towel racks and fogless mirrors, large double door showers. Bathtubs take up a lot of square footage, so we'll have large double door showers, and 110 outlets and USB ports, and great closet space and drawer space as well. Our minimum stateroom is our standard. And you do need to go down a staircase to get to this floor. I'm so sorry, but I have a frog here. But this is our lowest level on the ship. This was partially underwater. If you look where that window is, that is the water line. You will hear water kind of slushing or going by. Some people find that very relaxing. And these are twin beds that do convert to a king size bed. So if you are traveling solo, or you're traveling with someone that you don't want to share the bed with, our staff can separate them for you. Great square footage. You do need, again, to go down a staircase. We do have elevator access on the other decks, but on this deck, you do have to go down a staircase. Our French balcony, you can open that slider and get some fresh air and look out, put your elbows on the railing and take in the sights. It's a nice choice. Don't step on the balcony. I think we should call it a French railing stateroom, not a balcony, but don't step on the balcony because it's probably the Rhine or the Danube, but it's a great way to get some fresh air and some beautiful views. Most of our inventory looks like this. This is our veranda stateroom, and this does have a balcony. You can open the sliding door, you can step out on, you can have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee in the morning. That bottle of wine there is not there by accident. It's really to encourage people to go into port, go to a vineyard, go to a winery, find a liqueur, find a beer, and bring it back to the ship. And you don't have to tell us it's olive oil. It's okay. You can bring back as much as you like. You can drink it in your stateroom. You can drink it in the public rooms. You can drink it in the dining room, and there's no corkage fee. So that's what going to these ports is all about. Finding something you like and you want to continue with, or maybe share with people that weren't with you. So please, if you find something you like, please bring it back to the ship and enjoy it even further. This is our 2-room veranda suite. Many times people that cruise on ocean cruises and come over to river cruising, this is what they prefer because it has ample square footage. It reminds the square footage wise what you do find on ocean going ships, 275 square feet. A French balcony off the living room and a full balcony off of the, a French balcony off the bedroom area, a full balcony off of the living room area, and a large bathroom as well. This is a bathroom shot. And just some amazing views out the windows there, behind there. Our 2 biggest suites are our Explorer suites, or they're on the back of the ship. You don't have any really any problem with any noise from the engine. You don't feel the propellers. You don't have any fumes coming up from the engine because we're on the back of the ship. They have a wraparound balcony. They're the top suites. They're some of the largest suites of any river cruise company. They just have a larger bedroom area, a larger living room area, larger bathroom. For those that are looking for the most space to enjoy on board the river ships. And very social. A lot of times people that have these staterooms will invite people out on their balcony, or they'll have a party in the living room because they have the space for it. This is our bathroom. Again, a nice window there. It is only one directional. It only looks out. So I had that question before. Mr. Hagen actually created our bath products. He is an engineer by trade, and he noticed that when he'd go to these hotels, they'd have tiny bottles that were hard to open, and he washed himself in conditioner far too many times. So our products are large, they open up easily, and they've got big bold print that say body wash, conditioner, and shampoo. We'll switch gears here. In 2015, we started in ocean cruising. We took all of the success of river cruising and put it into ocean cruising. And we've been very successful. Currently, 14 ships are being sold. 10 of them are cruising, and 4 of them are still being built. And we have even higher retention rate for our staff. 97% of our staff comes back again and again. 90% is very good for river cruising, but 97% is even higher for our ocean staff coming back. And we do have that service guarantee as well. So if something's not right, let us know, and we want the opportunity to make it good. And then if we can't, well, you do have the option to get off the ship and receive a refund, and we'll help with the transportation home. With ocean ships, we're just larger. We have more things to do. We're able to keep people on board that are entertainers and lecturers, people that are brought on board that have lived extraordinary lives, come on board to share their life experiences. So we do have regular entertainment that lives on board the ship. You do see production shows on board our ships, singers and dancers and bands and resident music that's being played in the atrium, string quartets, pianists. We bring in a lot of destination performance as well, people that are singers, dancers, musicians, performers that are brought in from the ports, and they perform in our theater or in our grand atrium. We have the idea that our ships are identical as well. So pretty much every one of them is the same. The idea is that if you go on a ship to Alaska and then you go to the South Pacific or you go to Europe, we want you to have that feeling that you're at home immediately. So whether it be our first ship from 2015 or our newest ship from this year, they're going to look identical, and they're going to have the identical lounges and restaurants on board. It's done on purpose. We like continuity at Viking. It also allows us to get into a lot of ports that other cruise lines can't get into due to our size being smaller. So 930 guests on our ships. We're considered a small ship ocean cruising. Food is also the same concept, where it's local cuisine, local recipes. We try to shop local for beer and wine that we provide. But again, if there's something that you should eat or can't eat or won't eat, we have a lot of different choices for you. And we have a few more choices as far as places to dine. Our main restaurant is called The Restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have 2 specialty restaurants, Chef's Table and Manfredi's. You don't pay extra for these. Many cruise lines charge extra. We don't. Aquavit Terrace and World Cafe is a nice informal dining area. We don't like calling it a buffet. Buffets just don't have the reputation. This is food that's a lot of times made specifically for you, much like a food cart. And it's just a very casual dining experience. So that's why sometimes people lump it into a buffet, but we don't like using that word. Mamson's is a Norwegian deli named after Mr. Hagen's mother and her recipes. The Pool Grill for traditional hamburgers, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, French fries, and such. Winter Garden for afternoon tea. And then ocean ships, we do have 24-hour room service available. And it should be the same quality food that you find in the main dining room or in the Aquavit Terrace, World Cafe. You should never compromise, and you should never pay extra for food on board. It keeps us honest. You should have the best room service possible. You should have the best casual dining experience. You should have the best main dining room experience. So we don't charge extra for any food on board. We do like saying yes at Viking, but we do say no to a few things. So no casinos on board, no children on board, no umbrella drinks. We're not going to push alcohol or have drink of the day or souvenir glasses. No photographers. Everybody's cell phone takes pictures, and our crew has been trained in cell phone photography. So if you're sitting at your table and you want a photo taken, they'll gladly take a photo of you. Nobody coming to, oh, someone's coming to my front door right now, and my dogs are going to go crazy. Um, Nobody's going to come and try to sell art to you. We don't have art auctions. No charge for beer, wine, and soft drinks while you're dining, much like our river ships. No charge for Wi-Fi, no charge for laundrettes. Ocean cruises tend to be longer, and people are very practical on how they pack. If you use the spa, there's no charge for the thermal tub or for the dry and sauna or the steam sauna, and there's no spa pressure. So if you come in for a service, we're not going to try to sell you something while you're there. You're strictly there to relax. No inside staterooms. Everybody has a balcony on ocean ships. No smoking, no lines, no front nights or butlers, white gloves, gracious, attentive, humble, genuine people working on board, and then no nickel and diming. That's key for us. Your vacation, you're not expected once you get there to keep forking out money. Many cruise lines feel that's how things are done, and that's just not our standpoint. You want to be on a ship that can navigate the globe very comfortably, and so this is the perfect size for us. With 930 guests, and still many things that you'll find on bigger cruise ships, pools and lounges and spas, but just a little bit smaller version on our ships. Again, our understated Scandinavian elegance, our Viking heritage throughout the ships. The atrium here, it's a 3-story atrium. We'll have music in the afternoon. And then off to the sides, you'll find the living room. It's our cozy little nooks for you to enjoy during the day, quiet, and then busy at night, maybe with cocktail service and conversations with your fellow cruisers. Front of the ship has our Explorer's Lounge. Come up here in the morning as you're entering port to see the city come alive. At night, we have entertainment up here, music, just beautiful views to take in. This is the winter garden for afternoon tea. You maybe just came back from a shore excursion and you're still a little bit hungry and you want to not spoil your appetite. Come up here, have tea and have some light savory and some sweets up here. Beautiful place to take it all in with live music. Our pool has a dome, so we can use it in not so great weather. So it's available in inclement weather, and there's plenty of loungers for everybody. No need to go out early, reserve. And the back of the ship has our infinity pool. Swim out there, and there's a glass wall, and you can take in the scenery and look over the side of the ship. It's our thrill. Some cruise lines have skating rinks and rock climbing walls. This is our thrill. Swim to the back and look out through the glass wall on the back of the ship. Spa, we've got plenty of room for everybody, so there's no need to pay any additional charge. Some cruise lines will charge a resort fee just to use this. We don't need to do that. We have enough space for everybody. And part of that is the snow grotto. So stay in that warm water as long as possible, and then head over to the snow grotto and feel the chill, and then decide to go back in that hot water once again. But it is a room that's making snow, and it's about 1.5 feet of snow piling up, and you just kind of make that transition between the hot and the cold. The dining room's open for everybody, open seating, beautiful vistas, and we can open the doors and get some fresh air in there as well. And then Freddy's, again, it's a specialty restaurant, and you make reservations for, but you don't pay extra for. Ship-made pasta, ship-made gelato, big portions. Makes me hungry just looking at this photo. It's amazing quality Italian food. And then we have the same with our chef's table. There's no charge for this. It's a wine pairing course by course. And they change the cuisine in here nightly. And you do make reservations. Again, we do that so we don't overwhelm the galley, but you do not pay extra for this. And then staterooms, a couple different stateroom categories to choose from. This is our introduction stateroom. Everybody has a balcony. Deluxe veranda is the same as our regular veranda. It's just on different locations on board the ship. So you'll notice that we have deluxe and then regular veranda. The really difference is where these cabins are located on the ship. The deluxe tend to be a little bit higher up on the deck levels. Then we also have our penthouse veranda, a little bit larger bedroom, living room, and also balcony to enjoy. And our penthouse junior suite. This is a great value in cruising because it's what most cruise lines call a suite, but we call a junior suite because there's not a door separating the two rooms. There's a curtain that can be drawn, and it's priced as a junior suite, so it's a great value, but great square footage as well. Our bathrooms, again, heated floors, heated towel racks, fogless mirrors, and many times you'll find double sinks, but not in all staterooms, but on many categories you will. Larger suites to enjoy are explorer suites. Again, they have larger balconies, larger living rooms, larger bedrooms, larger bathrooms to enjoy. And one of our itineraries that we're promoting is our China itinerary. We started cruising here in fall of 2024. It was very popular. So we are going back in 25 and 26, both in the fall. If you're looking for a great value and a chance to see some wonders of China, I encourage you to talk to your travel advisor about these particular itineraries. They're a great bargain. Many times they include free airfare. It's a great cruise package, but what people like is the land packages. It was the land packages that we did when we once did cruise on the Yangtze River. We don't cruise the Yangtze River, but the land packages that we do were the versions that we did for the Yangtze, and these were very popular last fall. Lastly, we'll just finish off with our two newest endeavors. Viking Mississippi came out in 2022. This is our ship cruising, and she was built specifically for the Mississippi in Louisiana. We have excerpts of Huckleberry Finn as you go up and down the hallway, up and down the staircases. The dining room is on the upper deck because you want to look on the banks of the Mississippi. So we put the restaurant up high. And we've got cozy little corners to enjoy in conversations. And I always like to joke, just to prove that we don't have kids on board, we've got white sofas. So this is our living room, again, cozy, just an area to enjoy conversation. You can drink red wine up there, it's okay, but we'd like to keep it comfortable and cozy. This is our river cafe. Come in here, it's very casual. There's an open area, an internal area, and then a fully outdoor patio area to enjoy, depending on the weather. But we've got casual dining up here as well as barbecue. The South is known for wonderful barbecue. We've created our own version of Viking barbecue. And then much like our other ships, we've got our two-story Explorer's Lounge at the front, looking out. Again, quiet during the day, but busy with music and entertainment at night. And then like our river, like our ocean ships, we added an infinity plunge pool on the back. You don't see a paddle wheeler going around because that's generally not what's propelling the ship. So we didn't put a paddle wheeler on it. We wanted the ship to be a real mix of our river and our ocean ships. So we did put the infinity pool. So if you wanted to cool off on one of those muggy days on the Mississippi, you could. A couple different itineraries to choose from. We are in the lower Mississippi during the winter months, but then as the weather improves, we go as far north as St. Paul, Minnesota. So 7, 8, all the way up to 22-day cruises on the Mississippi. And then a couple different categories to choose from, some veranda staterooms, as well as some terraced staterooms, depending on what you're looking for. We've got it available. A lot of times people refer to these as very similar to what you find on our ocean-going ships. And then lastly, we'll just finish off. We entered our expedition part of cruising in 2022 also, our Actantis and Polaris. These were designed for exploration and comfort, 378 guests, taking people to the extreme parts of the world, as well as the Great Lakes. It's about all the toys that we have on board, the Zodiacs, kayaks, submarines, the chances to get off and do the exploration. We have the very similar lounges that you find on our other ships. A lot of times people want to come and just take in the scenery in these vast areas that we're cruising, and you can do that comfortably on board the ship or from your stateroom. Our staterooms were designed with the furniture to look out towards the window, and you press a button and the upper window drops down to the lower level, and it creates a shelf there so you can balance a tripod or balance a camera and take pictures or binoculars of the beautiful scenery and get some fresh air in your stateroom as well. And then just some gorgeous areas to enjoy throughout the ship. In our theater, you're going to learn about the ports. You're going to learn about the landings that we do. We have experts. We have doctors and scientists on board that are doing studies. You can learn about glaciology, or you can learn about icebergs. You can learn about weather balloons. You can learn about whales and penguins. We've got all kinds of scientists doing research on board our ships. Or you can just sit up here and take in the beauty of the area that we're cruising in. Cozy, again, this is a typical design of our Scandinavian Nordic aesthetic on board the ships. And our library, if you'd like to check out a book or just visit with your friends, this is a beautiful area to do so. Again, lots of windows looking out so you can take in the scenery of when port or if we're just out at sea. And I think this picture does a really great tribute to why people go to these extreme parts of the world. It's peace, it's quiet, it's the vastness, it's taking in all that scenery. It's a long time to get to this part of the world, Antarctica, but we do it there comfortably, and we do these great landings. We take in this pristine scenery. We try to enter and not disrupt nature. We do our best to really not interrupt wildlife, the fish, the penguins, the whales. We want to keep it as the environment as pristine as possible. So the ships try not to disturb. Very quiet ships. We don't attract birds. Typically, if a bird comes to a cruise ship, it's going to want to eat. So we purposely will not do that because that's interrupting their ecosystem. So we try to come in very quietly and take in this beauty of this area. Ships, again, have our Scandinavian feel to their staterooms, beautiful views outside, always paying a tribute to our Nordic heritage. And this is what people go on board these ships for, is all the toys, the zodiacs, kayaks. These are called strategic operating boats that leave the ship, and they will launch off and they'll be off exploring. But also the comforts of Namsons, our Norwegian deli. But this is really what people come on board for. They want the ease, the comfort. They want to be off exploring, heading off and taking in this beautiful part of the world. We call this the toy box. It's where we keep all the fun things, including the 2 submarines. Mr. Hagen is a Beatles fan, so the first ship named the 2 submarines John and Paul. They happen to be yellow submarines. And then the other ship, of course, named theirs George and Ringo. The chances of getting wet are pretty strong. So we have a drying closet. We provide a lot of gear for you, and you don't want to put on wet gear day after day. So we do have a regular closet for you as well as a drying closet. So you can put your gear in there and be ready for the next day. And then, of course, when we're not cruising these extreme parts of the world, we're in the Great Lakes. We come in through the Welland Canal. It's a 78-foot canal, and our ships are 77 feet wide. So we've got that 6-inch clearance on each side that allows us to bring these 2 beautiful brand new ships into the Great Lakes and in some amazing U.S. ports as well as Canadian ports of call. Many people feel that it's like a river ship because we stay very close to shore the whole time and take in a lot of areas that people have not really ever been to before. So if you're looking for something a little closer to home, this might be just right for you. And then lastly, I haven't even looked at the clock. I'm a little over time. I do apologize. We do have a benefit for you coming today. We have an onboard credit if you make a booking with Travel Perks within the next couple days. On February 21st, that's our final day. But you can get an onboard credit. We're going to help you find the right cruise, the right promotion, everything exactly right. And then, of course, we've got this onboard credit for you. You can wait to use it on board the ship, whatever you'd like to use it for, the gift shop, the spa. But many people do use it in advance to buy optional shore excursions. We do provide a shore excursion with every port, but there are ports where there are optional shore excursions that you do pay for. And a lot of times our guests will use this onboard credit to buy one of those onboard, um, one of those optional shore excursions. So talk to your travel advisor about that. Again, you can use it before, or you can wait to get on board the ship and use it. And Becca, I hope I've been talking for an hour here. I got to take a sip of water here. I don't know how many questions came through. I hope the volume worked out better.
Yeah, it seemed like it. And thank you so much, JJ. I know I'm ready to go sailing with Viking right now. So yeah, we do have several questions here. So I'll just hop into them. And then just a reminder for our guests today too, if you do have additional questions, feel free to pop them in the chat or the Q&A widget, and we will get those addressed. You were just talking about the shore excursions that are included, JJ. Ron says he understands there is a free shore excursion in each port. Is that correct? Are they long, and do guests get to select the free excursion?
Pretty much every port that we visit has one included shore excursion. So technically you could choose, but it's going to be the same one for everyone. And we do break it down into small groups. So if you're on the ocean ships and you're 930 guests on board, we break people down into groups of 20 to 25. So there'll always be enough space for everybody to do the included shore excursion. On river ships, you're looking at 190 guests. I'd say pretty much 95% of the people that go on river ships do the included shore excursion. So we're ready, again, if everybody wants to do it, and we break people down into small groups. We generally do them in the morning so that people can get up and get off the ship, do the included shore excursion, get very familiar with the town or city that we're in. We do get them back to the ship by lunchtime. Sometimes if a person wants to stay in port while we're in the city, they don't have to come back to the ship. They can start exploring on their own. The reason why we come back at lunchtime is so they can kind of refresh and get some meals. And then in the afternoon, we do offer the optional shore excursions. And those are the ones you do pay for. There's many, many different choices depending on what you're interested in. Everything from, I think there's the lowest price one is right around $49 per person. And there's some that are extremely more than that because they're once in a lifetime experiences, and they might include even airfare. I know we do one that's almost $1,000 that includes an air flight, and you fly up to the Neuschwanstein Castle, and you get to go into the castle with just a small group of people. So there's, again, that could be one of the more pricier optional shore excursions, but we have a wide range of prices.
Great, thank you. And then we have a question regarding the wine that you can bring back on board. I'm wondering, does that apply to any kind of beverage like beer, soda, alcohol?
Yep, anything they want to bring back. We don't sit there and pull it out of their carry-ons. They're welcome to bring back whatever they'd like.
And can you open it for onboard consumption? Like
100%. That's what we want you to do. We want you to go to these ports and find something you love and you want to experience it further. So yes, that's really what it's all about.
Excellent. Question from Cynthia: how far in advance do ocean cruises open for booking?
Oh, that's a really good question. We are long-term people at Viking. We are always looking. I sometimes forget what year I'm in, truly, because we're always working like really far out. We started 2025 about 80% sold. So we've already started moving into 2026 and 2027. I think we're pretty much set with itineraries for 2026. And I believe there's a majority of sailings that are out for 2027. Maybe not all of them, maybe not the fall ones, but very, very far into 2020. We're always working about a year and a half to 2 years out. And we encourage our guests to book early because we might have a lot of ships, but they're not a lot of people on board. So we do sell out on many itineraries that are one-off itineraries. There's some itineraries like the Romantic Danube or the Rhine Getaway, where we have many, many, many departures. Those ones, you find a lot of inventory, but some itineraries are just one-time itineraries on ocean ships. So make sure that if you're something that you want to do, that you check out and you talk to the advisor and see what the availability looks like.
Great. And then we have a question from Anne regarding solo travel. So she says she often travels alone, so Viking's often not a consideration for her. Are there any options for solo travelers with Viking? And if not, why is that?
But the history of cruising has always been to build staterooms with two berths and sold double occupancy. And Viking just continued with it. It's just how uh, the product is packaged as far as pricing goes, as far as like how we maintain dining counts, and there's a lot of behind the scenes thing that come up to why cruising has been always double based on two people. Every once in a while, we do run specials on reduction of the single supplement. And that's where you'd want to check with your travel perks travel advisor because they can speak with our reservation. We don't publish these. Our reservations team will have the dates that we have reductions of single supplements. So if you get to know your favorite travel perks travel advisor, and then they'll call into Viking, and they most likely have their favorite Viking reservation agent. They can usually converse and watch for dates or itineraries where we have reduction of single supplements. It can go from 200% down to 175, down to 150%. It's never just one person paying one double occupancy. It's sometimes the double occupancy plus 50% plus 75%. I've never seen it go down one to one, honestly. Not even during our pandemic era, but unfortunately, that's just how we've chosen to sell the cruises.
Great. Yes, and as JJ mentioned, Theresa and Crystal from our team would be happy to look into that for you too. So feel free to reach out to us and we can get you connected. Another question regarding shore excursions. Does the website highlight the included shore excursion? We have a couple here thinking about popular cities like Rome or Florence that use ports in neighboring cities.
Yes, the website will tell you. I believe you go into the itinerary you're looking for, and then you go into the day in that itinerary, and it will oftentimes tell you what the included shore excursion is. There's usually like a little banner on the picture. There's a video on all the different ports, and then there's usually a section that talks about shore excursions, and there's one that usually gets identified as the included shore excursion. It's usually a broad brush, kind of range about that city. You're going to learn why people are visiting that area. On river ships, sometimes we'll do walking tours because you can actually step off the ship and go into these towns and little cities and be off very quickly. Other times you do get off the ship and then you get on a motor coach and then you go further into the city to find what the attractions are. But I think the included ones most people are very happy with because they're going to get a really great perspective of what that city has to offer. The ones that we do in the afternoon and evenings are definitely of a key interest. I mean, if you're in Kinderdijk, you're going to learn about Gouda cheese making, and you're going to go to a farm, and you're going to meet the multi-generational family that owns the farm. You're going to meet the cows. You're gonna do the tasting of the Gouda cheese. But that might not be interesting for somebody else. Someone might think that going kayaking or mountain biking is their interest of that city. In Vienna, we do something in very small numbers. We go see the Vienna Boys Choir. It's only about a dozen people that go to it. It's one of our more expensive shore excursions, but you'll be able to have a private concert from the Vienna Boys, and you'll be able to ask them questions and find out what their lives are all about. So there's really extremes when it comes to the optional shore excursions. Some people are very happy with just the included ones, though, and then they want to maybe just go out exploring on their own in the afternoon and evening.
Great. And there is a question, is there time to do both the free one and an optional one?
There is, definitely. That's why we try to do the included one in the morning. Again, ocean cruising, we're dealing with more people, so there'll usually be a couple in the morning and a couple in the afternoon. So, but generally, we like to do the included one on river ships in the morning so that you can come back to the ship, freshen up, have lunch, and then do the optional ones. Sometimes we're late in a city, and a person technically could do 3 shore excursions in one day. They could do the include in the morning, they could do one after lunch, they can come back for dinner, and then we'll have a nighttime shore excursion as well. So people think that river cruising is really key, as really, you know, laid back and slow, but you could be very, very busy if you're doing 3 shore excursions in one day, especially if there's an element of, you know, kayaking or mountain biking. But we have people that do it all.
Great. Could you speak a little bit to flights through Viking? Questions are they reasonable? Any benefits if flights are delayed, etc.?
Yes, we do. Well, we actually do more airline ticketing for our guests than some of those big cruise line companies that are carrying thousands and thousands of people. We have an amazing air program. I'd say 95% of the people that cruise with us use Viking's Air. Uh, we have great rates. We have promotions on air, so talk to your travel advisor. Sometimes there's free air or reduced pricing on air. Great schedules. We work with contracted rates that we negotiate with the airlines. We do have a preferred airline carrier. Generally, we try to put people on Delta first, but if there's an airline or a schedule that you want, work with your travel advisor, and you can actually help customize your air. There's a fee. There's a option called Air Plus, and that gives you a lot of input into what schedule and what airline that you'd like to have used. We It doesn't matter if it's river or ocean. Our air schedules are great. We also provide service to you if you're using our air and something goes bump in the night. There's an 800 number you call and we get you rerouted. So we take care of you every step of the way. When you use Viking Air, it also includes transfers. So if you're coming into a city like Passau in Germany, you're doing the Rhine, excuse me, you're doing the Danube, you'll most likely fly into Munich. And Munich is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from Passau. So by using the air with Viking, it does include that transfer for an hour and a half from the Munich airport down to the city of Passau. So our air program is really valuable because it's priced really well and includes quite a bit.
Great. Yeah, that's a huge bonus. I think we're getting down there to the last couple here.
I apologize. I've just been doing so much talking
Yeah.
that this frog just won't leave me.
No, you're doing great. If a cruise is overbooked, how does Viking determine who gets the package to reschedule?
Wow, that's a really in-depth question. That's someone that's cruised before. Well, we don't oftentimes see that happen, but it did happen in 2023. What happened was in 2022, we were still getting people canceling because of Omicron, right? So we would have a full ship, and then people would cancel for no reason. So we would go out with slightly empty ships. So in 2023, we thought, aha, we'll oversell the ships, and when we get these cancellations, we'll just fill them with the people that were, the pluses. And what happened in 2023 is people didn't cancel. People that booked, they went on that cruise. So we did get ourselves into some oversold situations. So when that happens, we want it rectified quickly. And we're not talking hundreds of cabins, we're talking handfuls of cabins. So what we do is we come out and we just offer an amazing offer all at once. And people will take it, and they'll move to another sailing date or a later sailing date or a different itinerary. So if this does happen and you happen to be one of those persons, the offer is really good, but let me tell you, it goes in a matter of hours. We don't want all this negotiation back and forth. So we come out with a really good offer to begin with, and those people take it, and that resolves the problem. But we haven't really had the problem since 2023 because we've been able to figure out the ratio of how many people book and how many people might cancel. But that's a really good question. That's a person that's cruised before quite a bit, I bet.
Great. And lastly, is there any way to reduce the number of Viking mailers that come through somebody's mailbox?
Oh boy, that's another good one. Well, there's no way to reduce it, unfortunately, but we're trying to be better at it. We can take you off the mailing list. You just need to let the travel perks advisor know your name and full address, and we can take you off the mailing list. We're trying to be better. What happened at Viking is there's 4 different parts of Viking, and I went through them all here, but we've got river, we've got ocean, we've got expedition, we've got Mississippi, and they're all different marketing teams that do these mailers. And what happens was they weren't communicating to one another. They weren't saying like, hey, we're doing a mailing next week, and hey, we're doing a mailing next week. They weren't talking to one another. So we finally have all parts talking to one another. So we're trying to be better about sending out a multi Viking piece that has like all the different elements of Viking, not just one section of Viking. So hopefully we'll fix this, but we do like mailers because they do get people excited. They do get people calling their travel advisor, and they do, produce business for us. So we're just going to get better at reduction, I guess. So hang in with us, or we can remove you.
Great. All right. Well, that does it for our questions, unless there's any last second ones here, but doesn't look like it. So JJ, thank you again so much.
Oh, Rebecca, thank you. I don't know what I apologize, everybody. I think it's the weather here that we're having, and I'm gonna go. We've got another one of these in a couple hours, so I got to make sure my throat's ready for more talking. So I appreciate you listening to me go through this, and I hope that the volume did increase so you could hear everything about Viking, and I hope you choose to cruise with Viking and that you work with Travel Perks, because we want to reward them for putting this together. And there's a lot of other agencies out there, but I work very closely with them, and they're amazing. The office does extremely well in my little geographic part of Viking, and I just want to say thank you for them for putting this together. And again, we do have a reward for you for sticking around. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I've dropped our contact info in the chat here. We'll also be following up via email in case you'd like to get connected to an agent as well. So keep an eye out for that, and feel free to reach out with any additional questions. And thank you so much again. All right, bye.
Bye. My dogs cooperated, but my voice did. So
Right.
thank you.
That's how it goes, right?
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.